Welcome back, Gems, to another wonderful episode of the Grateful Gem podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today we're talking about the importance of patience. Stick around because gems are definitely about to be dropped and you don't want to miss out. So let's go. I need everyone listening to this podcast episode to follow us on Instagram at the Grateful Gem Pod and also follow me at Jasmine Shannelle. Don't worry, I spelled everything out and left it in the notes below. Take a look. See you there. Now let's get into this episode. What's up, Jams? I'm so excited to be here with you guys on this new episode. I am super pumped about the topic today. As you heard, we're going to be talking a little bit about patience. And just talking about, where I am at a point in my life with patience and how it is very important to pay attention and be patient in the journey that you're walking. So, as usual, talking from experience, I woke up this morning, and to be honest with you guys, I really had a rough start. Today was a rough morning for me, and I just needed to be reminded that God is in control and that, we are not to be anxious about anything because it is already taken care of. It is in God's hands, and we spend a lot of time wasting time being stressed out through the trials and tribulations that come to us. And sometimes more than often, the things that are sent to us aren't meant to destroy us, but it's meant to strengthen us. It's meant to use it to be wiser. And sometimes I feel like this because I let that situation get the best of me a lot of the times. And that's a lot of times why I go through the same test over and over, because I allow it to succumb me. But I'm praying that you do not be like me, that you are better than me, and that we'll all be up there one day. So I'm going to link the video that I watched by Dharius Daniels today, called My Time Is Coming. And I was like, wow, I was just going on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, let me get into the word today. I was supposed to do this yesterday because I kind of had a rough day yesterday, and I just couldn't get in the moment, so I was just like, I don't want to just play a video and then I'm not feeling it. So this morning I got up, had a rough day, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get in the word, talk to God, spend some time with him today. So that's what I've been doing since this morning. So I went to YouTube and I found this sermon, and it blessed me. So I'm hoping that the things that I took from this, and I'm going to link it down below as well, and I hope you watch it, and I hope you get better things from it as well. But this is what I got from it, and I hope that it blesses you in so many ways because it was a blessing to me. As usual, I got to give you guys the disclaimer. As you hear, I am like short of breath. My asthma has been acting up today. Just growing with pregnancy, so I'm gasping for air all the time. So just bear with me. But I want to definitely get this message out. So today's title is going to be, It's Not Supposed to Take This Long. Okay? That's just where I have been in my life. This is not supposed to take this long. That's like, I was ordering packages for Christmas. I started ordering stuff in the end of November, you guys. And I still have 2 packages that I have not received. One of them just shipped out yesterday, and I ordered it like the last week in November. Just shipped it out yesterday. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be here by, not Thanksgiving, but Christmas. I ordered another one a couple of days after that. It has not even said that it shipped out. Pretty sure it's not going to be here by Christmas, and I'm glad that it doesn't have anybody's Christmas presents in there because I would be SOL. But in that moment, I was just like, dang, it do not take this long to get a package. Like, I've ordered 2 times from Burt Bees and got my stuff within like 3 days. I've ordered from H&M previously, like a couple days before I ordered the second order from H&M, and it shipped within the 5 days. And so I'm not understanding what's taking this last shipment from them. And I ordered some stuff from Carter's, but I'm getting it shipped to the store because I thought that would be faster. But obviously, it's not. Hasn't shipped out yet. But again, the 2 that I'm waiting on aren't packages for anybody. They're for me and some baby stuff. So I'm not really too worried about it. But it's just the mindset of, it's not supposed to take this long. You know, at the end of the day, it does not take that long to get a package out, especially when I've ordered twice from another company and I've gotten it within 3 business days. So I just sit here and I'm like, why is it taking so long? I literally track it every day. And like I said, I just got an email yesterday about H&M. That package shipped out. But my Carter's package has not shipped out. They do not even have a tracking number for it. So I'm pretty sure it's still at the warehouse. So anyways, moving right along. But that is the topic for today. It's not supposed to take this long. And I know a lot of you may be saying that right now with a lot of things that you're personally going through in your life, you know, whether it's your Christmas presents or your job promotion or some things to be settled that was supposed to be settled, some forgiveness that you thought you were moving on from, just anything, you know, you're telling yourself it's not supposed to take this long. And sometimes it is, you know, that was the reality that I got this morning, that sometimes it does take this long because the process of this time is because God is building up the builder in you. So you have you ever been in a situation where you thought, dang, like this is my time, I'm finna shine, and then something happens and it's pushed back? That's where I am as well. I had a job offer that I was supposed to start on November 30th with Bank of America, and it has been pushed back, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times. And you guys, I have been like anxious about it, super excited about it, and now I'm just like, it is not supposed to be all this. It should not take this long to get a department in order and have it ready for people to get into. I was kind of upset because I'm like, you know, my current department is kind of stressing me. I'm allowing it to stress me. What I should say, it has been really stressful. A lot of things that were said that was going to happen didn't happen. For me to adjust to be able to stick it out through my sickness. That's why I am not currently working for the rest of the day today, because I've just been sick all morning, having issues breathing. It's hard to really talk for long periods of time. So I want to get this out, and I want, you know, you guys to be encouraged as well, because I know just like I needed this, somebody needed it today. And I'm just asking again that you guys be patient with me. But yeah, so they pushed the date back from the 30th to the 7th to the 4th of January, now to the 11th of January. Okay. And you can imagine how I felt. I'm like, God, why are you doing this to me? I was so ready to leave. I can't believe that this is happening. I was so geared up to leave, start something new, something that may be less stressful. And I just was overwhelmed because I'm like, it's not supposed to take this long. Like, I was supposed to be gone on November 30th, and it is December 21st, and I am still here in this department. And I'm just like, it'll be my luck that they push it back one more time. But in that, I had to take the good with the bad, and I had to realize that there's a reason why this job is being pushed back. And I don't know the reason, to be honest. I don't know if it's just me needing to be patient and be content with where I am and do the best I can, which I am. I am doing the best that I can. But it gets stressful sometimes because I don't like to have to keep constantly leaving because I'm sick throughout the day. And like I said, things that were promised that would be worked out haven't been worked out. So I've just been leaving for the day. And so it gets really stressful. And like I told you guys in the last episode, side note, if you have not checked it out, go back and listen to it before you play this one. So pause this and go back, then come back. But as I stated in the last episode, I have no more PTO, no more sick time, because within the last 5 months, I had some, but I have used it up. That is how sick I have been. I am 6 months, 27 weeks as of yesterday. So 27 weeks and 1 day as of today. And I am still nauseous all day, still throwing up. This morning was really hard. Mondays and like Fridays, or like those days are really rough. And I woke up this morning and I kept telling myself that I was like, I do not feel good, but I still got up. I logged in, tried to do my best, and it was just like all down from there. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this today. I'm not struggling to get through the day, because last week I did that. I struggled through the whole week. I think I was off last Monday because it was terrible last Monday. And then I got through the rest of the week. It was a struggle, but I got through, and I was like, I'm not doing that today. Because again, it's not just me being sick, but my asthma, shortness of breath, scared to eat anything. It's just a lot, and I'm like, I don't want to overdo it and stress myself out even more, because again, I've already told you guys I was in the hospital for my health, my heart, and it's just like, Jasmine, do not stress yourself out. It will work out. God will provide. And I'm thankful that, again, I had my savings set up, and I'm thankful for a lot of other things that have been put in place to replace the funds that I'm not getting on my paycheck. So I'm super grateful for that. But again, in the process, it's just like, it does not take this long. Like, that's just my mindset. I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, why 9 months seems like it's taking forever, to be honest. I'm doing March, and I feel like the new year is just taking forever. I'm like, it's not supposed to take this long. Like, why is it going so slow? I need to hurry up. I'm ready to get out of this department, get into a new department. I'm ready for March to be here. I'm just ready, you guys. I'm ready. And in my mind, I'm thinking, am I really ready, or am I just anxious to just feel better and get to a better place? Get back to the old person that I used to be. And that's kind of what that message this morning reminded me of. He talks from John 7:6. I'm going to read that to you from the New Living Translation because it gives a better breakdown. So Jesus is talking, and he says, now is not the right time for me to go, but you can go anytime. And how many of you have ever had to say that line to somebody, like, it's not my time, but it's your time, or this may not be the right time. This may be the right thing for me, but it's not the right time to pursue that. That's basically what Jesus is saying, is replying, it's not my time yet, but you can go forth with your plans if that is what you're supposed to do. And that's just how I'm trying to resonate in my life right now. Just telling myself that my time is coming. It's not my time yet, but it will be, because even though I have to wait another 3 weeks to move from the apartment, that time will come. Even though I have to wait another 3 months to have this baby and get this over with, my time will come. And it's funny with the pregnancy, because I've been seeing, like, when I log into Instagram and Facebook, I see everybody's like, oh, I'm pregnant, doing December, doing January. Like, I know a few people doing December, a few people doing January, and I'm like, ugh, like, why can't I have been doing December or January? Like, I'm ready to get this over with. It's just that mindset, I'm just like, why is this taking so long for me? Like, it seems like it's sped fast for everybody else, but for me, I feel like I'm on pilot mode, like I'm on cruise control. It is just not going fast enough. And it's just something that gets you overwhelmed, because it's like everybody's having their baby, everybody's getting their life back together, and I'm still here trying to put the pieces of my life back together. But what I was reminded of today is that purpose takes processing. So when you're walking in your purpose and you're doing things that God has called you to do, and you're moving in the pace that God has called you to move in, that pruning process takes time. And we can't just be ready to shoot forth into something. We have to actually be prepared and be builders to be able to carry what God has put on our shoulders. And that is exactly what I was reminded of today. I was reminded that in the process of anxiousness and anxiety, you have to be patient and know that for whatever reason, you may not know the reason why something was delayed. You may not know the reason why something may feel like it's on pilot mode or autopilot. But God knows the reason, because God planned for this. God knew what you needed before it even happened. Like I said to you in the last episode, God knew that I needed to save my money, because God knew that I was going to be out on FMLA. Jasmine didn't know, but God knew. And I think that is awesome, because like I told you guys, God had put on my heart to start budgeting and start taking my money more seriously. And I'm thankful that I didn't just neglect that, because it is very detrimental to my life as of right now. This is not nothing that previously I was just like, oh, I just got out of this rut. No, this is something that I'm doing now. I'm able to still pay my bills, even though I'm having to leave 2 or 3 days out of the week, because I'm sick, and I had 2 doctor's appointments this week. So that's 16 hours right there. And then I was out last Monday, And before that, I was out on Friday. So that's another, I worked for like 3 hours. So that's another 12. Are you loving this episode? Great. Don't forget to leave your feedback by rating and leaving a review on Apple iTunes. Also, don't forget to subscribe anywhere, wherever you're listening to this podcast. And make sure that you follow us on Instagram to keep up in the know of what's going on with the podcast. Okay, let's get back to the episode. But that was another 12 hours. So I'm just thankful that I was obedient again to what it is that God was calling me to be obedient to. So I want you to take whatever it is that God has put into your life and calling you to be more of a steward or a better steward over your life in areas where you haven't really been taken serious. Because you never know how that very thing that God is calling you to do is going to make so much sense later on down the road. And you're going to be thankful and grateful that you decided to answer the call that God gave you. Because like I said, had I not had that money saved up, I probably would have been really behind on a lot of bills. Just to be real with you guys, keeping it transparent, I would have been behind on all of my bills. But I'm thankful that I don't have to ask anybody for help. I'm thankful that I can go to my savings and I can thank God that I was obedient in that moment, because again, God knew, but I didn't. And so that's also the call over your life. God knows the plans that he has for you, even though he hasn't revealed those to you, even though he hasn't shown them to you, maybe, God knows. So if God is calling you to do something, if God is telling you to do something and do it, take it serious, because when you get there, you don't want to say, oh man, I could have been better in this situation had I listened 3 months prior to what God was telling me, or I could have been in a better situation had I took this serious 2 weeks ago. You don't want to be in a situation where you're waiting to the last minute to get yourself in order. So just take it serious, because it's definitely going to help you in the long run. And again, I say that from experience, and I'm thankful, very thankful that I was able to be obedient. But again, your purpose takes time and it takes processing. So in this season of my life, we look at and compare ourselves with a lot of people and a lot of journeys that we're on. Again, for me, it's been this pregnancy. I've been watching other people that's pregnant, just comparing our walks and comparing, how I've been feeling with how they've been feeling. I'm just like, this isn't fair. This is not supposed to be this hard. It's not supposed to take this long. I don't understand why I'm still here. Just looking at careers and, just comparing. The comparison game is just always something that everyone does. But in comparing, you have to remember that God equipped you for the path that you're walking. God didn't call Sarah to walk your path, and he didn't call you to walk Sarah's path, or Bill to walk John's path, or John to walk Bill's path, because we all have our own walks. And even though sometimes they may look a lot similar, they're very, very different. And that's something that is hard to remember, because when you look at a lot of things that are tainted with social media and pictures and, talking to somebody, you never really know what that person had to go through to get where they're going or to get where they're at. You never know what somebody has come out of once they're coming into something else. And that could very well be your story as well. That's like a lot of people. For some reason, a lot of people lately around me, they want to talk about having a baby and, the aspects of having a child. And so with me, in my personal walk, like I tell them, I can only speak from my experience. For one, I used to feel like, I just want to be prepared. I want to be financially, mentally prepared. And I'm none of those things. I'm glad that I'm taking my finances serious and I'm able to save, have a savings for my baby and for the things that he's going to need. But you can never be too financially secure, because a child is going to always need something. They're consistently growing. They may get sick. They may have some kind of health issue or anything. With me, I'm praying that Noah doesn't have asthma. I'm praying that he doesn't have eczema. I'm praying that he doesn't have sinuses. I'm praying that he doesn't have none of the things that I have. I'm worried that he's going to have glasses because I wear glasses. His dad wears glasses. But with me, I'm the person that have, all the health issues. His dad doesn't have any. So I'm just like, I'm hoping that, he takes after his dad and maybe just the glasses thing comes, but the health issues, the asthma and the other things that I have, I pray that he does not get those, because I remember when I was a child, growing up with asthma, it was hard for me because I couldn't do a lot of things that other kids could do, but not even other kids, but my brother and sister. Well, at the time my sister wasn't born yet, but just my two brothers, and my cousin, she has asthma. Going back to comparison, she had asthma. We were both kids, and she could run and play all day. Me, if I laugh too long, I'm gonna have an asthma attack. If I run too fast for a minute, I'm having an asthma attack. I've always had severe asthma. It's always been uncontrollable, and that's currently where I am now, and it's getting worse with this pregnancy because it's hard for me to breathe. As you guys can hear, I'm panting and just trying to get these words out because it's hard. And at work, it's really hard for me to talk all day because I'm having to, and sometimes we don't get a minute between calls. So it's a lot. But again, I'm just praying that, he doesn't have any of this because it's hard, and it stopped me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. Which now getting older, I'm able to do a little bit more, but I'm going to have to start that journey all over again because I'm going to have to train my body back up and train my lungs back up, but it's not undoable, but anyways, people around me have lately just been talking about doing and having kids. And I'm just like, my thing is this: there's nothing wrong with having kids if that's what you want, but don't ever think that you're going to always have it figured out, because you're not. Because here I was thinking, oh, this is, a breath of fresh air. It's going to get better with time. To be honest, it has not gotten better. It has gotten worse. I have been in the hospital 6 or 7 times, as I mentioned previously, due to this pregnancy, due to my asthma, due to being sick. The first 5 months, I was not really able to eat anything. I lost almost 30 pounds. And I really haven't even gained it back yet. I think when I went to the doctor beginning of the month, I had gained 3 pounds. I probably gained a little bit more since then because I've kind of figured out what I can eat and what I can't eat and when to eat. But I've lost almost 30 pounds. I just started picking up belly weight. Up to now, you really couldn't tell I was pregnant, which was an advantage because, again, I hadn't told a lot of people, still haven't told a lot of people that I'm pregnant. But it's just a lot of things you have to consider, and just being in a different emotional space. Emotional for me, it's been hard. There's nights where I sit up and I cry all night. The other night, I was asleep. I woke up and was just boohoo crying. Couldn't tell you why I was crying. Don't know what I was crying about. I was just crying. I was emotional. Everything had just kind of hit me in my sleep, and I woke up and it was just like a rain pour, and that happens often. I kind of question where I am in life. If what I've been doing is what God has called me to do. Sometimes I question why this happened to me. I literally was having a conversation with Noah's dad, and we were talking, and he was like, have you prayed about it? And it makes me wonder, okay, have you? I'm thinking that, okay, he's prayed about it and God has given him some kind of answer as to, why this happened and why it's happening now. But for me, I've been praying, I've been seeking, and I haven't really got a revelation as to, why this is happening now. Because to be honest, in which I haven't told this to anybody, but my plans were to move back to Atlanta and do real estate. I wasn't trying to stay in Jacksonville. I wasn't trying to make a life here because this is not where I want to be. And so when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, those dreams are shot, because I don't want to take my son away from his dad. And I don't want, me and his dad to move and then it's just us and him and he's not attached to his family. I don't want to do that. I don't want to separate our family. And just make it hard for my family and his family to see him. So I'm just like, that's kind of out of the picture. I'm not going to be able to move back to Atlanta. And it upsets me. It really upsets me because it's I had these plans, what is going on, and it just, again, comes with patience and trying to understand, because I've been praying for a while about, God, what is it that you want me to do? And being in this pandemic has also helped me realize that, I love that I have a job. I'm grateful, but I know this is not where God has called me to be when I retire. For the next couple of years, he's calling me to do my own thing. But my thing is, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to just leave because I'm successful and I have so many gifts that I can monetize those. I want to do what God is calling me to do, and I want to do it the right way. So in doing that, you have to be patient, because sometimes God doesn't reveal what it is that you're supposed to do right then and there. And he may give you a glimpse of it, but you still need more pieces. It may not make sense right now, but it's going to make sense later. Later, you're going to come back and say, like aha moments. And again, it's just like, this do not take this long. There's been times where I pray for things. I fast. Y'all used to know, last year I was the fasting queen. Okay. I fasted all the time, and each fast was different, because certain times God answered me right away. Certain times God didn't answer me until after the fast was over. It varied, and I'm just like, I know it doesn't take this long, because God, you've answered me literally in days where I've sent a prayer. 10 minutes later, the answer to my prayer was there. So I know that God is capable. I know that he's more than willing to give those answers if we are ready to receive them. But when he doesn't give them to us, it's like, okay, God, what's going on? Because I know that you can answer me. I know that you can give me the answer to this question. So I'm not understanding why I'm still here in limbo. And again, it goes back to, it's not supposed to take this long. It's not supposed to be this hard, and that also comes with, like, just talking from a business aspect. If you're supposed to do business with other people, it may be that the business or something that you're supposed to do with somebody else hasn't happened yet, because God is not only building you up, but they're building that person for what it is that you two are supposed to do. And, a lot of times we get patient with ourselves, but we don't want patience on that other person. It's like, well, girl, dang, you ain't ready yet. Like, if you're planning an event or something like that, it's like, oh, I want to do the event here this time. And then the person's like, no, I need about 6 months. And it's like, well, girl, why you need 6 months? And maybe 6 months is the time frame that God is allowing you guys. But because you feel that you're ready and you're anxious, you're like, oh, we need to do this now, And again, that's where John 7:6 comes from. It's not my time yet, but you can go, if you want to do this by yourself, you can do it. And so, it also comes with, betrayal, people that you do business with, they, betray you, or they do something to go against what it is that you're doing. But most importantly, I've learned with business and with life, those betrayals are things that we need, because it allows us not to be jaded. We need those betrayals to get where we're supposed to go. So we need those betrayals to get us to our purpose, because now we're not only serious about our purpose, but we're serious about how we get there and who we get there with. That's like when I talked about being in this mentoring group, and the leader of the group, the first couple of group sessions was fine. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. This is really going to help me, my business. And then like that second and third time, me and my accountability partner, we was just looking at each other like, girl, we were kind of looking at each other sideways, but we hadn't really said anything. And I know how I feel. I didn't really know how she felt. And then another lady that I came to be closer with over the course of that time, I met her through that as well. And me and her linked up later on, and she felt the same way. And I was just like, it sucks, because there was business ideas that I had that was taken from me, that was stolen from me. And I didn't want to feel like that was what had happened. But in reality, it was, and it hurt me, because it was like, here I am opening myself up, trusting you, because you're in this higher position. You have all these connects. You have all these things that I don't have. You're a resource to me. And here I am not knowing that I'm a resource to you. And so that kind of frustrated me, because I'm like, dog, like, here you are just trying to better yourself. And here is someone seeing that potential in you and taking advantage of it. And at that moment, I was just like, okay, God, I got to do this on my own. But God isn't calling us to always do everything by ourselves, because we need people that knows better than us to get us where we're going. And sometimes you're going to be in business or in relationships with people that are as good at something as you are at something. So you guys are both going to be good, and you have to be willing to share a platform or share a credibility with somebody. And then it just asks you, that kind of tests your humbleness. Because it's like, oh, such and such sold 20 houses versus such and such sold 2,000 houses in the smaller amount of time, but it's like, don't miss the purpose of what this person is bringing into your life, because you guys both add value. And it's not that that person may be competing with you, but people have the tendency to pick out certain qualities from different people. So just be mindful with that. Again, when it comes to this job promotion thing, my whole mantra is, it is not supposed to take this long. It's not supposed to be this hard, because I did what I was supposed to do. I applied, I prepared for the interview, did great on the interview, accepted the offer, and I'm ready. So why am I not there? And I know a lot of you may be saying that. I'm ready. You're ready to buy a house. You're ready to have a family. You're ready to get married. You're ready to have kids. You're ready to settle down. You're ready to get where you're supposed to be in your business. You're ready to get friends that are friends and actual friends to you. But my thing is, what happens when you believe you're ready? God gives you those things and you're not ready. And another question is, who qualifies you to be ready? Are you qualifying yourself to be ready, or has God qualified you to be ready? Because sometimes we qualify ourselves as ready and we're really not ready. That's just like me and my baby's father. We were having a conversation when I had told him that, I was pregnant, and he was like, this is supposed to happen years ago. And I was just looking at him crazy, because I'm like, no, it was not supposed to happen years ago. I've been praying to God that this never happened, And I realized that, I'm like, when we were in Atlanta, he's talking about it all the time. I'm like, no, we don't need to have any kids. Me personally, again, y'all know me, I didn't want no kids. But him, he did. And I was just like, no, I don't want kids. We definitely don't need kids right now. Trying to get settled in Atlanta. It was kind of hectic there, and just trying to make it and all of that. And so I realized, I'm like, we weren't ready. I definitely wasn't ready. But I'm like, you definitely weren't ready. Even though you felt like, oh, I'm ready to have kids. We getting older. That was kind of his speech. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, at the end of the day, when it's time, if we're supposed to have kids, we'll have them we'll have them at the right moment. And here I am still at this moment, like, God, I ain't ready. But God qualified me, obviously, like, Jasmine, you're ready. But in my mind, I'm like, dude, I am not ready to be nobody's mama. Okay? I am not ready yet. And the reason I said that I'm not ready is because, as you guys know, I'm dealing with healing. I'm dealing with being forgiving. Just dealing with a lot of things that I've been holding on to for my whole life. Back to when I can remember, honestly. Just trying to let people in more. Be a little bit more softer or kinder. I'm just working on me. And I had a breakdown the other day, because I was just like, I don't want my son to be broken because I'm broken. And sometimes that's what happens when people have kids. Myself personally, my mom, and my dad, their relationship was all over the place. My dad had his own issues. My mom has her own issues. And a lot of that broke down to me and my sister and my brothers, so a lot of that hurt, a lot of that brokenness, a lot of that damage came on to us. And so that's why I say, I'm not ready, because I'm not the person that I want to be, or I see myself being when it came to having a child. I want to be able to teach my son, hey, at the end of the day, forgive people, and I'm not saying I can't teach him that now, but now it's going to be that much harder, because it's like, I haven't got there yet. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on be kinder to others as they are to you. Treat people the way that they deserve to be treated. Not how you feel they should be treated. Forgive people the way that God forgives us, and God forgives us in the nick of time, not in the nick of time, but at the moment. We're forgiven. And so we shouldn't have to put people through these hoops for forgiveness that we sometimes do. I know I do it, just being real. And I don't want to teach my son that that's the way that you live life, holding on, pulling back from people, not trusting people, and all this stuff. So that's why when I say I'm not ready, I don't feel like I'm ready, because I haven't got those things down. The things that I want to teach my son are things that I'm still learning. And I guess it's just going to be a learning experience. And, with trial and tribulation, it comes with time. And it's just like, I'm at that moment where, again, it's not supposed to take this long. It's not supposed to be this hard, because it's like, I've been working on healing for a couple of months. But if you think about it, I've been holding on to this stuff for years. And I'm just not wanting to let go. Just not wanting to do better, you know? So, I think it's just super important that, you know, when you get ready to go down the path that God has provided for you, just remember that if it's delayed, if something happened to where it was pushed back, it's for a good reason. You may not know why now, but eventually you will. It may be years later why you realize that something happened the way it happened. And that's always me. Something always delays, and I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating. And then when I'm actually in that moment, or that thing comes to pass, and then I realize that, oh, that happened because of this, or this happened because I wasn't this, and, you know, whatever. It's going to make sense later. So I just wanted to encourage anybody that is having a problem and struggling with patience, because it's hard and it's real, but it's that much worth it, because God knows what you need when you need it. And God may have given you a vision of something in your life that is going to come to pass, but it may not be right now. And the hardest part of being obedient and being patient is knowing that you're going to get somewhere, but you want to get there now. But God is telling you, wait. That is the hardest thing. The hardest. If God confirmed to you, oh, you're going to have a husband, you're going to have a wife, but you just got to trust me. And your mind is like, well, God, you said I was going to be married. You said I was going to get this promotion. You said I was going to get this new car. You said I was going to be debt free. You said, but when? It's not supposed to take this long. But in reality, it's taking this long because God is trying to build you that much stronger for you to carry whatever it is that you need to carry on your shoulders, so that you're not leaning on somebody else and taking somebody else's strength away, trying to carry too much. Because, again, your purpose takes processing. Your purpose takes time. And that just may be the hardest part of being patient. But, yeah, that is this episode. I hope you guys are just taking it one step at a time. Remember to seek God, because like I said, this morning I got up and it was a rough day. I was kind of panicking because I'm just like, here I am another day leaving work because I'm having all these issues. When I get off this, I'm going to have to go take me another treatment because I can't breathe. I'm hungry, but I'm scared to eat. Like, that's just my reality. And so I was freaking out. Literally, you guys, I was freaking out. And then I said, you know what? Let me get into the word. Let me spend time with God. Let me figure out what it is I need to do to get back where I'm supposed to be. And I come across this message, and the title was, My Time is Coming. For all these things that I'm anxious about, my time is coming. I already got this promotion. I'm just waiting to get in that promotion seat. I'm pregnant. I'm waiting to have the baby, you know. I'm trying to be debt free, so I'm paying down my credit or my debts, you know. Trying to get there. Trying to do what it is that God has already confirmed that they're going to happen, but it's not going to happen now. So whatever it is that you're believing God for, and if it's being delayed, just know you've already got that thing. You just got to get there. And get there in God's time and not your own. But that was this episode. I love you guys. I hope you keep shining as the gems you are. And I will see you on the next episode. Don't forget to let me know how you feel about these episodes. What you would like to talk about. What it is that you're going through. If you want me to speak on it, pray about it, come back to you, I will. But again, keep shining as the gems you are, because God loves us. Even though we're imperfect, we are perfection in his eyes, and he views us as gems. Bye.